Shalom, friends. For me now, it's still Chanukah, nearing the end of Chanukah and Rosh Chodesh Tevet, and Chanukah Sameach. I know you'll see this after Chanukah probably, but it's a time of Simcha. So I thought I would share with you a little teaching from the Piaseczner Rebbe from Vayigash, this week's Parsha Tafresh Sadi, which would have been either the very end of 1929 or the very beginning of 1930. I didn't check. It's a very lot of rich Torahs for the Rebbe from Vayigash, certainly in Derech HaMelech, also Esh Kodesh. So in Derech HaMelech, he talks about Simcha, about joy. And I know that even though it's been Hanukkah, we've had some difficult times. And sometimes we find it challenging to maintain our joyful composure, which is a problem. And so I thought I would share with you this little beautiful teaching of his about joy. So I'm just going to read it and translate it, part of it at least. He says, "Ubichlal simcha b'atzma asher ba'avoda mo'elet laha'aluta." Being in a state of joy when one is engaging in divine service actually helps to uplift that service. And he brings a variety of quotes about how we should come before HaShem with joy. And then he quotes from the Megillah Esther, "Ein lavo b'shar melech b'levush sak." One shouldn't go before the king in a state of wearing sackcloth. But he adds to that, b'levush sak ve'atzvut. What is the wearing the mourning clothes is a sign of sadness. You can't come before HaShem in a state of sadness. It has to be uplifted to happiness. And then he goes on and says very strongly, Pashudhu hasimcha hi hachayim vatzvudi misitra demot rachmana litzlan. Joy is life, and depression is from the side of death. God should protect us. Hayeled sameach hazaken matchil litatzev imenu samech bavoda. Kids are happy, and the Rebbe writes about kids and also in B'nai Machshava Tova, beautiful things. There's parallels in Rav Kook as well. Whereas an old person, Zaken, starts to get depressed if they're not happy with their avodat Hashem. If they have happiness in avodat Hashem, then that keeps them happy as they get old, and if not, they start to get to lose that vitality. Okay, and he talks about kids are so full of life, vitality, that it spills out from them in every aspect of them. I won't read the whole thing here. It's very beautiful, and that's what we need to learn with. Another thing that we need to learn from kids is sort of their natural, joyous way of being. He says, "V'adagama atzevet rak mimnei sheruch nich'eh tivash garam v'chiyut nim'at." Worries make us sad. Worries can lead to depression because we have a lowly spirit, right? And therefore our vitality is limited. And he says, therefore, when you hear good news, you're automatically uplifted and feel energetic, right? And happy. So he says, if you're a chassid, im chassidu yichol gam b'shad dagato lagbir et chiyut nishmato shel kedusha liyot b'simcha shel avodah v'kedusha. For Hasidim, we have the ability to, even at a time when we have worries, to somehow project the energy of our life force and vitality and flip ourselves into a state of simcha, because we know we're serving Hashem with holiness. V'kol mipnei shekol hashlich mi al atzmo et gufo v'et ininav, because I'm able to make a distinction between physical concerns, which I can at least temporarily elevate myself above them and be connected only with spiritual energy of happiness. And he says it's also true in one's learning Torah. Mitzvot, it goes on, it's part of a very long and beautiful drasha, which I will leave for another time. So even in trying times, personally or nationally or internationally, let's remember that part of our avodah as a Hasidim is to be connected to Hashem joyously, and to realize that joy brings us closer to Hashem. There's Rabbi Nachman, who had a great influence on the Rebbe, even though the Rebbe doesn't mention him directly, talks about the songs we have to even do silly things in order to maintain our happiness and not fall into depression, which is a major enemy of serving Hashem. So here now, we just had Shabbat, it's Rosh Chodesh, Chanukah, for another couple of days. When you see it, we'll be just still basking in that glow. Let us take the joy of Chanukah with us into the rest of the year. Let us take the light of Chanukah into the rest of the year and have good tidings and joyous Avodat HaShem. Kol Tuv Shabbat Shalom.